Hello and welcome to, oh God, that sounded really like, oh. Okay, welcome to how to say no without feeling guilty. Now, I didn't do the timer at the beginning, so I'm feeling a bit, but so many of us find it really hard to say no. So we end up saying yes. So when anyone asks something of us, or kind of work or friends or family ask us to do something, we always say yes. And I just really want you to think about how you end up feeling. Do you end up feeling overwhelmed or overcommitted and stressed out and frustrated and angry, or just resentful that you're having to do all this stuff for other people? And the truth is, you know what? We don't say no because we don't want to feel guilty and we want to be nice. So, if you're new to the group and this is the first time watching me, please say hello. If you've been with me before, please put in the comments below that you're here. Now, welcome to our incredible group. It's called Women with Ambition, and it's not just professional ambition. It is also about growing yourself, becoming stronger and more assertive. And the process I'm going to teach you today is powerful and it works. Okay. Learning to be able to say no and putting your needs in the mix is a really powerful tool to get you to where you want to be. And I'm going to teach that to you today. So if you're new, hi, I'm Bianca Valenta. I'm an award-winning life and personal success coach that helps women, ambitious women, get a life with clarity and confidence and capacity. So they're doing what they want to do as opposed to what they feel they have to. And you know what? Join the group if you haven't already, and you can join in some amazing conversations with us. And if you don't know me or what I do, I help ambitious women cut through the crap that's holding them back so they can actually like themselves and like their lives and look forward to living their life every day. So if you want some of that, please join us or hit subscribe. And you know what? There's a lot of ambitious women taking far too much on, and there's a lot of crap in their life. Do you have kind of a lot of stuff in your life that you're kind of left wondering, how am I going to do all of this stuff? And so I'm going to go through with you about how, not only, why you say no, and more importantly, how you can start I've just completely got that wrong. Why you say no, can't say no, why you end up feeling guilty, and also how you can learn to manage that and respond in a way so that you're not rude to people, you're not upsetting people, and you're not feeling guilty. Yeah? Okay, so I just want you to take 2 minutes to think of all the times when you have said yes, when you've actually wanted to say no. I don't want to do this. I want to just lie on my sofa at home and put my feet up or read a book or something like that. And when you've stayed out too long at a party and you actually want to go home and you're like, oh, I'm going to get a taxi. And they're like, oh no, stay longer. And you're like, okay, I don't want to be a party pooper. Showing my age. I don't want them to think that I'm not fun. So I'm going to stay out longer. And then you're like, oh, I just want to go home now. Do you ever have that feeling? Or when you've been at work and taken on additional work, someone said, can you just do this? And you've gone, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm never going to get home at this rate. I'm never going to get to do what I want to do, or taking work that makes you work over the weekend. And what about when you have offered to help someone out and actually you've got a lot of stuff on your plate that you need to do, and that's been pushed to the sideline so that you are ending up feeling overwhelmed and frustrated? And you know what? We need to know that saying yes is losing space for us to do something for us, okay? When we're saying yes to someone else, we're losing space to say yes to something we want. And when we say no, we are creating space for what we want to do, okay? And it's not selfish. Putting your needs in the mix is not selfish. It's being realistic. It's being smart. And it actually shows that you value you. And that's what this is really about, understanding how you see it and understanding how you value yourself. Okay, and you can still care. You can show caring, you can show consideration, but you don't have to say yes to prove that you're a good person, because we do fill in the blanks and we do say to ourselves, you know what? If I do this, then it must mean I'm nice or I'm a good person. Okay, and actually, why are the reasons you want to say yes? Yeah, why do you want to please people? What is that doing for you? And why do you have a problem saying no? What does it mean? Now, I don't want us to be too hard on ourselves. For caring, I'm one of those people, for caring and compassionate and empathetic people, this can be really hard. It really can. Because, this struggling, this inability, this difficulty saying no is coming from a caring place. It's coming from a good place. But actually, it ends up leaving you feeling stuck or frustrated or even angry. So let's do something about it. Just going to take a drink. Now, the reasons often we don't want to say no, because we don't want to come across as being rude. Or that we don't care, or that we're selfish. And we don't want to let people down. We don't want, if people need us, we want to be there for them. Or we don't want to be disliked or feel rejected. And we want people to like us. We want people to go, oh yeah, she always helps out. You want to be a nice person. And another reason you might always be saying yes when you actually want to say no is you don't want to be judged or criticized. And you're filling in the blanks, asking them, what will they think of me if I say no? She might think, I don't care. Oh, I don't want her to think this. And do you ever fill in the blanks and kind of ask yourself questions? Yeah. So it's about really recognizing that when you say yes, you're giving people a gift. You're giving people a gift of your valuable time and your energy and your resources. And actually, you're giving them the gift of you. Now, if you've got kids or you've got friends, you might give them a gift for their birthday or for Christmas. Now, if you gave them a gift 4 or 5 times a day, here's a gift, here's another gift, go and have a gift. Eventually, that gift is not going to have any value. They're going to be like, oh, another gift. All right, okay, thanks. And then they might even stop saying thanks, and they might stop appreciating you. So I really want you to think of your time, your resources, and saying yes to people as a gift. And you wouldn't give that gift without consideration, without thought, and also without some boundaries. Gifts are given because you choose to give them, okay? It's not something you have to do. And it's the same with saying no, because it's your time that you're giving, okay? Because you wouldn't give gifts over and over and over again endlessly, okay? If you've got kids, you wouldn't just give them presents every day, 10 presents a day. I mean, you kind of are giving them your time because that's being a good parent, but friends or work or family, and it's about saying, actually, my time is valuable and I am going to give it to them when I choose. Does that make sense? So if you're watching this live with me right now, just say hello in the chat so I can see you and I know you're with me. If you're watching on catch up or replay, just put #replay and tell me what you find you spend your time on. What are you doing when you are saying yes, when you actually want to say no? Okay, what are the things that you struggle saying no to? Is it work commitments? Is it, trying to grow your career? Is it kids? Is it saying no to friends and social situations? Oh, I have to go out, otherwise they're going to think I'm boring, or another drink. What is it that you can't say no to? If someone comes in with a homemade cake, is that the thing you can't say no to? Just put down below what you have difficulty saying no to. And then I can comment and reply, because that's what I do in the group. So I really want you to, going back to the gift, being generous with your time is a choice, okay? And I think that the majority of people who have difficulty saying no are the very people who care a lot about what other people think, care a lot about other people, full stop. And you want to be there for people. Okay. And I think it's coming from a generosity of spirit. You want to be a good person. You want to make the world a better place. You want to make people happy. Okay. And that is the motivation. When we're talking about the iceberg, the doing stuff for other people is at the top. What's underneath is wanting to be nice, wanting to be good, wanting to help out and make the world a better place. But that is the generosity of spirit. And I want you to focus on that. Okay. Because it's not an obligation. If we are saying yes because we want to, then that is the right choice. If we are saying yes because we're scared of the consequences of saying no, then that's not a generous, loving spirit place to come from. Oh my God, I've gone all woo-woo. I don't do spirit and generosity very often, but it's about saying, okay, you know what? I'm not obliged to do this. I am choosing to do it. I am wanting to do this because it's important to me, not because I'm scared of being a bad person or that, you know, I'm scared of what they'll think of me. That's not coming from a generous place. And it's about making that shift that you choose to, okay? Now, the other reason we often say yes, other than a place of fear and kind of thinking, what will they think of me, is also because we have a fear of missing out, FOMO. You know, it's about saying, if I don't do that bit of work for my boss, what will he think of me? I might miss an opportunity. It was a bit of both. I might miss an opportunity to take a project lead. Or if I don't, you know, go to this party, I might miss out on a really great night. If I say no to this social event or whatever it is, then I might not miss a really good opportunity that's going to help me grow. Okay. It could be a career, it could be promotion. And, you know, this is great if you're coming from a place where you have capacity to be able to do those things. But if your plate is full, you're going to kind of have to work out, is that possibility worth the investment of my valuable time? Because your time is valuable. Your energy and your resources and your emotional input, if it's supporting a friend, is valuable. And it's about putting you in the mix. Now, I just want you to take 2 minutes to think about what discomfort comes up with you when you have had to say no before. Okay, how do you respond? Do you normally just say yes, so you don't really ever say no, so you don't know what it's like? Or some clients come in and it kind of turns into an anger management issue because they're very aggressive, because they don't want to say no. They feel bad for saying no. And they're like, no, I can't do that. I've got too much on. And it comes out quite scary, okay? And actually what's going on in your head is, I don't want to do this. I get frustrated when they ask me. They should know how much I've got on my plate. How dare they ask me when I've done all those other things for them? And that kind of angry, aggressive response because you're uncomfortable. Or are you kind of a bit more passive? Are you trying to placate them? Do you come from a place when you have to say no and you know you do, but you feel awful for it and you apologize and I'm so sorry, you know, you're trying to placate them, make it okay. They're going to be so upset with me. I feel really bad that I can't, if only you'd let me know before, I could have sorted something out. It's just, I've got so much on my plate. I have to take the dogs to the vet and I've got to pick the kids up and I've got to do all these things, trying to almost take that victim mode where you're saying, I've got so much on, and trying to get that sympathy so that they won't think badly of you and they'll be okay with it. Okay, because those are two often responses people get. But what we're missing in the middle is that assertive response, that way of saying my needs are important and your needs are important, and actually being able to weigh up the priorities. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go through 3 ways that you can effectively put those boundaries in place so that you can respond to those situations without having to panic or say yes when you actually want to say no, but you've got no good reason. I'm thinking of one of my clients who ended up always babysitting, and she didn't mind doing it once in a while. She was lovely. She was a really nice person. She didn't have any kids of her own, and she knew how hard it was for her friends to have kids because they're sometimes exhausting. And so she always wanted to help them out. But she ended up being called on all the time. And now babysitting once in a while is okay. Babysitting almost every Saturday and, once a week was draining. And it was to the point that she was like, well, I don't know how to say no. I've got no good reason to say no. I just want to sit on the sofa at home and binge watch like box seat sets, you know. So actually thinking, putting their needs, I'm thinking about them, I'm going to say yes. Do you like that? Oh, you've got no good reason to say no. And actually you want that person to know that you care. Okay. And I'm thinking about that scenario because what was going on there was her values, her self-worth, which is I want to always be there for someone. And if I'm there for them all the time, then I'm a good person and I'm a good friend. Okay. And actually she was a great friend and she was a great person and she didn't have to babysit all the time in order to be that person. Okay. And what happened, because she was doing it all the time, she ended up almost being taken for granted. Back to the gift scenario. You know, if you're giving someone a gift all the time, that gift then just becomes an everyday occurrence. So first of all, you want to be able to say no to people, and you can feel it when you're like, oh, I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to say yes. First thing you're going to do is say, I'll get back to you. I'm going to just check my diary. I think I might have something on. I'm not sure. Okay. And that is then putting you in the control situation. You do not have to give them a response straight away. If it's like your daughter, she says, can you look after the kids? I have to go to hospital. I've broken my foot. Then you might have to give a response. But it's about saying most of the time you will have time to think it over. So that is number one. Give yourself space, kind of give yourself time to prepare a response and get yourself working through the stuff that's holding you back. Okay. Second thing, okay, and this is what I teach in the Success Solution, okay, it's the ABC method. 1, be assertive, okay, think, okay, I'm not going to be apologetic and apologize and go on to all the different things. And the reason we don't go into too much detail is because that person will in some way try and help you out by trying to fix the problem that's getting in the way of you doing what they want. So it might be a social situation and you say, I can't come to your party. I'm really sorry. I've got to get my kids to bed. Okay. And they go, that's fine. You know, you come over earlier and then you can leave by 8 and you'll still have time to get your kids down. So we don't go into loads of detail. We don't get impassive. We don't explain all the long-winded reasons we can't do it, whether that's real or whether it's made up. We just say, actually, I'm really sorry. I've got another commitment. You keep it assertive. You keep it brief. Your assertive is not being scared. Oh, what will they think of me? Telling yourself it's okay. And you're not going to get angry. They should know. They should know I'm really busy. They know I've got kids. They know, why don't they? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, what you're doing is the assertive, which is okay for them to ask. And it's okay for me to say no. Okay, you keep it brief is the B. So assertive is A, B is brief, and C is be considerate. You know, you don't have to be rude. I'm sure you're not a rude person anyway, but you be considerate. You know, thanks so much for that invitation. I would love to come to your party. I'll get back to you. And then you get back to them and go, oh, thank you for the invitation. Unfortunately, I've got other stuff on, so I'm not going to be able to meet it. And then maybe another option, which is, but I'd love to meet up for lunch. You know, give them an alternative so that you're not being rude. You're still showing that they're important. And then you're kind of being more in control. Okay. In the case of the babysitter, please don't go away. Be assertive. I'm sorry, I can't babysit. Brief. I've got a prior commitment. And consider it. Don't say, but I'll pay for the babysitter for you, someone else. Don't do that. You don't have to pay for babysitters. You don't have to try and fix their problem that you kind of have said to yourself that you're creating by not helping them out. No, they can manage it. Because what I've put in the group, and one of my posts was, those people who care won't mind. And the people who mind don't care. And it's about recognizing people who are true friends and really value you will be okay. Family who love you, they're not going to be like, yay. They're going to be like, oh. But it doesn't mean that you're not a valued person in their life. Okay. So don't over apologize. Focus on what's important to you. And, you know, if you have another commitment, you are an important commitment in your life. Okay, you don't have to be doing other things. I had one friend who was one client who was incredibly sociable, and being out and about was really important to her. She was single, she wanted to get together with someone, but actually she was sometimes a bit scared of being on her own. So she went to all these social events and said yes to everything. And then she came to the conclusion that actually, I just want to sit at home and have a takeaway. I don't want to have to do these things sometimes. And actually being able to value herself and saying it's okay for me to put my needs first made her feel better about herself. Okay. If you want to say, you know what, I've got a lot on my plate, I can't take on any more, you don't need to go through everything you need to do. Okay. So let's not be victims. Let's not over apologize. Focus on what's important to you. And it's okay for you to have things that are important to you. Okay. Now, the third point that I'm going to go through is to be assertive and give yourself the respect you give other people. You know, you value other people in your life and you want them to value you. And you're only going to get value and appreciation and respect from other people if you give it to yourself first, if you value your time. You know, when you consistently say yes to other people, what you're really saying is your needs are more important than mine. Okay. Therefore, you are more important than me. I'll put myself to the bottom of the pile. And so if that is the case, you really need to work on your self-worth, making yourself be okay, liking yourself, being okay, valuing yourself. And I've given the value sheet a couple weeks ago. If you're struggling with how to value yourself, what is important about you? Now, I used to say yes to everything. Well, a long time ago, I said no to everything. I was a real curmudgeon. I didn't like going out. It was when my sort of slightly broken stage. And I kind of just like, I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do anything. Now, in part of my journey, I suddenly massively realized I was saying no to everything. So I started completely going the other way, saying yes to everything, social situations, work commitments. I didn't want to take anything for granted. I didn't want to miss any opportunities. I didn't want to miss out. I recognized I'd missed out on lots already, and I didn't want to do that anymore. But the problem was when I said yes to everything, I felt better about myself initially because I was doing more. But eventually, I felt that my needs were going to the mix. I was doing things because I felt I should, not because I wanted to. I was almost scared that if I said no, I'd miss out on something, that big business opportunity when I was starting off my business, or that big social opportunity when I would meet someone who was a soulmate or something. What I learned, and that ultimately left me overworked. I remember doing about 6 speaking gigs in like a week, and I was exhausted. I didn't have time to prepare my notes. I didn't have time to commit to my kids. I just ran out of time. And it made me realize that I was again coming from a place of fear. If I don't say no, what will happen? If I don't say yes, what might happen? What will go wrong? You know, what will I miss out on? And it's about coming from a place of strength and a place of abundance and a place of choice, because we always have choices. Now, we might not like the choices, but the nature of being able to see it's a choice, you know, like with my kids, you know, I don't have to say yes to everything. I don't have to say no to everything. I choose what I say yes to and what I say no to. And it's the same with yourself. It's about having that boundaries within you. So what I want you to do is go away and think about the places in your life that you overcommit yourself. And there'll be a few areas, a few relationships, a few situations where you feel stretched and strained and overcommitted. One of my clients has to look after her sister who's disabled. Her parents can't look after her anymore. And actually she feels that she always has to say yes to looking after her. It's like, you don't have to, it's a choice. Well, I have to, because who else is going to look after her? And I was like, there are choices. You might not like those. It might be that she has to go into care. No, she's never going into a care. There, it's your choice. Your choice is to look after her because you love her, but you don't have to. And it's about recognizing when you are saying yes, it is a choice and there are options and you're not necessarily letting people down. Okay, so think about where you overcommit. Think about how that impacts you. And I really want you to use the ABC method to give yourself time, get back to them, be assertive, be brief, and be considerate. Okay. And then put an alternative if you want, you know. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope it's given you some food for thought. If you're not a member of the Women with Ambition group, then please join it now. You know, there'll be a link below, hopefully, but if not, it's on Facebook, and just type in Women with Ambitious. There I am. And I really want you to think about how you can help yourself challenge these things that come up for your life. Challenge the crap, get over yourself, get to where you want to be. Let's get you the life you want. I look forward to seeing you next week. I am going to be looking at a really good, exciting project that I'm starting the week after. I'm going to be telling you how to make time. I'm giving you the first tool that is so essential in building capacity in your life. And I'm really super excited about sharing that with you. So there's going to be a whole course that I'm offering for free. If you want to find out about the Making Time Kickstart Challenge, it's 7 days. Join me in the Women with Ambition Facebook group, and I'll go through it all then next week, 12:30 on Thursday. See you later.